basic things that are stated to be provided for people with disability per the Disability Act we have. So it's something we've decided that we want to take up.
And it's quite unfortunate that, the toll booth system has been, and so most of them are still maybe unemployed and then struggling to fend for themselves. And so the reintroduction, I think, will be a good news to them.
Is it really? Because now they're threatening that if they are not brought back to work after the reintroduction and the reopening of these toll booths, they're going to demonstrate. And we already saw them demonstrating because they were promised they'll be paid every month until they find other jobs or they absorb them into other institutions as well. That didn't happen. And it was heartbreaking to see persons with disability on the streets protesting for something that was promised them by governments. And so right now, the question then will be, even if these road tolls come into operation again, I don't think they've started at the moment, have they?
No, they have not.
They haven't. If they do, will they consider these persons with disabilities, all of them at least, so that they can get jobs? And will they give them a back pay? Because, again, there was a promise. That wasn't fulfilled. So it's a very murky situation at the moment. And I don't really know if they really consider the plight of these persons when they're making these decisions,
Yeah. Again, it comes back to the conversation about the priorities that are placed by government or many other related
and this is
things.
not...
it does.
This is very minute on their list, I guess.
No, but that's not fair. No. That's not fair. There was a
Mm-hmm.
deliberate effort to give them jobs, which was why they were placed at the various toll booths.
Exactly,
and it was designated mostly for those people, the persons with disability. I just thought that it was unfair what happened to them. And like you said, they are minute on the totem pole, and that's even more unfair because they should look out for them. That's why we have a social protection ministry. What is being done for people such as these? I don't think that the gender ministry has even come out to say anything concerning even the people who were protesting on the roads. Nothing at all. And there's a whole ministry in charge of people like these. Nothing. And it's really unfair, It's heartbreaking.
It's very heartbreaking. Well, in the 2023 budget, back in November, we were told by the finance minister, he announced in mid-year that it will be reintroduced, and finally it was reintroduced. So the then expectation will be that so far, where have we reached?
Yeah, exactly.
You look at, if we have to recall what he said there will be reintroduction of road tolls on new roads.
Yeah.
And we also know that when they are doing the compilation of new roads, even the ones that are rehabilitated are 10 new roads.
Exactly.
All right? So the expectation is that the motorway, once they patch some sections with bitumen over that concrete, it's a new road.
Yeah.
So you have to put back put into action or work the tolls. Some of them were vandalized or, either they were broken down or somehow or demolished. I don't... Sometimes you get to the intersections and you get to find that, well, they've been demolished. Whether they were caused by accidents or they were caused deliberately or an action taken by the roads ministry, I don't know. The whole conversation has been about how these road tolls were stopped in the first place. We were told that abruptly they will be stopped and in place we have e-levy. So the conversation is, after e-levy, and now you have introduced it, what does it mean? What initially was the intent that we were told e-levy will come for? And now that you are reintroducing it, what is it for? When are you starting? George?
Well, e-levy didn't, give them that, needed revenue they were expecting so clearly. So they have to go back to the drawing board and then...
But we told them. Ghanaians said it, that they were not going to pay for e-levy.
They didn't listen. About few friends who stopped using mobile money.
Listen.
Can you imagine?
They still went ahead with it. And now that e-levy is not pulling the resources that we're expecting, we're bringing back road tolls. They told us these road tolls were not enough to generate revenue to fix our roads. Now that they're bringing it back, I know there have been increments in that, but is there going to be a system to check and ensure that all the monies that are collected, half of it does not go into someone's pocket? Because if we're coming back with the same mechanism, then we're really not solving the problem.
Exactly.
We're just painting over the problem and assuming that it will be solved.
Experimenting.
It's not going to be fixed. I thought that at least at this point would have, because we're going digital, we should have found a way to digitalize it completely so that we...
Like the way they do at the airports.
Exactly.
Exactly, That one. Yeah,
so that you still maintain some of these persons with disabilities at the road toll, so that if people are having challenges with whatever, their cards that are supposed to connect to the digital machine or whatever, then they can help. But we're not doing that. We're coming back with the same collecting monies from cars, that's going to bring back the same problem we're trying to fix, which is traffic.
The traffic.
And fumes in our environment and all of that. We're really not fixing the problem.
Yeah.
And it's sad, you know.
Ghana,
let's recall an insight from the finance minister, where he announced the abolition of the road tolls.
Have become unhealthy market centers, led to heavy traffic on our roads, lengthened travel time from one place to the other, and impacted negatively on productivity. The congestion generated at the tolling points, besides creating these inconveniences, also leads to pollution in and around the vicinities. To address this on public roads and bridges, this takes effect immediately. The budget is approved on appropriation. The toll collection personnel will be reassigned. The expected impact on productivity and reduce environmental pollution will more than offset the revenue foregone by removing the tolls. Tolls, Mr.
Well, so that's how the finance minister made the announcement. And ultimately, we had a reintroduction in November of 2022 for the 2023 budget that was read. And since then, Bella, we've had some initiatives. At least we know that there's a letter from the finance ministry. Yeah,
there is a letter. And maybe we should just take a look at that very quickly before we carry on. So it says that reference is made to paragraph 462 of the 2023 Budget Statement and Economic Policy of Government on reintroduction of road tolls. Reference is also made to Section 6 of the Fees and Charges Miscellaneous Provisions Act 2022 Act 1080. It is provided under Section 6 of Act 1080 for the Minister to amend the schedules of the Act to include or exclude MDAs and or adjust the fees and charges collected by the MDAs for their services through a legislative instrument when necessary. Accordingly, this ministry has initiated steps to provide for foundational rates for tolling of roads and highways as part of the amendments of the Act, pending completion of the process to identify the roads and highways to be affected by the reintroduction of the road tolls as stated in the budget. We are by this letter conveying the proposed rates as per the attached Appendix 1 for inputs by the Ministry of Roads and Highways to enable this ministry complete the schedule of fees under the impending legislative instruments and continue counting on your usual cooperation. This is from the Finance Minister. We have the Minister of Roads and Highways copied, as well as the Chief Director of the Ministry of Roads and Highways. Interesting one there. Yeah. So that's the letter.
And subsequently we've had the rate also itemized there. So you have the rate as it is. And well, AJ, good morning to you.
Good morning, Roland and Bella. Great minds think alike. We're both
I know, we're ready. But anyway, so if you're a motorbike, if you use a motorbike, initially you were being charged 10 pesos. Now they're increasing it to 50 pesos. A regular saloon car would pay 1 cedi. Initially, we're paying 50 pesos. Pickups, 4x4 vehicles, 1 cedi now moves to 1 cedi 50 pesos. Light buses now 1 cedi 50 pesos from 1 cedi. Mummy wagon, which one is that? Mummy wagon.
Like.
Is it the family?
Yeah.
The large.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Is that it?
Maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, that'll be it.
I don't know. Well, they were also paying 1 cedi before. Now 1 cedi 50 pesos was being proposed. Heavy buses.
I think Mummy wagon may be the family vans.
Yeah, the family vans. Okay. Heavy buses will now pay 2 cedis from 1 cedi 50 pesos, and light goods trucks, 2 axles, okay, will pay 2 cedis from 1 cedi 50 pesos. Medium goods truck, 3 axles, now 3 cedis from 2 cedis. Heavy goods trucks will pay 3 cedis. From 2 cedis, heavy goods trucks as well, 5 or more axles, they were paying 2 cedi 50 pesos. Now there's a proposal for 3 cedis 50 pesos. Agriculture tractor, actually 50 pesos, now 1 cedi. Which one is that?
The normal tractor.
The normal tractors, yes.
The big ones?
Yeah.
They're paying 50 pesos.
Yeah.
How?
But you have to subsidize for agriculture.
Okay, that makes sense. But do we consider the damage they cause on our roads?
They usually work on the farmland, so.
Okay, so if it's being towed, Will you charge the tractor as well as the truck?
No, if it's been told.
That one you charge only the truck?
Yes.
Ah, okay. Agricultural tractor with trailer. It was 50 pesos, now 1 cedi. So average percentage increase for all of them is about 88.5%. That's what we're looking at.
I'm even looking at the rate of depreciation. I think that there's a conversation about whether people can afford and then also whether this is enough.
Yes.
You know, because what we were taking before we decided to remove the road tolls, 1 cedi today. I mean, even these days you can't even buy a lot of things with
pure whiter. Pure whiter.
Pure whiter.
Yeah.
Pure
That's what
whiter.
1 cedi buys now.
Yeah. A bag is 10 cedis.
Do you know how much I bought one tangerine for?
No.
10 Ghana cedis.
One. The imported.
The big one, the imported one. One is
10
cedis.
The almost orange one.
I bought tomatoes, I can count. The very tiny
Yes.
ones,
Yeah.
about
Yes.
8 or 10 of them, 50 Ghana cedis. That was over the weekend. And this is not from, and when I was saying, a lot of people were saying that you like
went
to
to
go
the
and
mall.
shop
Yeah.
from. No, I didn't go to the mall. I went to a regular woman who has set up her goods along the street.
In the community.
50 Ghana cedis. I could count 10 pieces of tomatoes, and not the big ones, though. The small ones. Unbelievable.
Why won't people now start thinking of going for canned tomatoes as an alternative as against going for fresh? And honestly, I bought juice over the weekend for a pack for like almost 40 cedis. I say, how am I buying juice for 40 cedis now?
Is it imported? Oh.
Well, since we don't make it here,
We make a
apart from a kunfi, and it wasn't a kunfi I was buying, so
Eku juice. There's a
eku juice. Yeah,
Make sure you buy eku juice.
No, I like it.
Echo is the confi.
Yeah,
Or is that the
Echo
no,
juice.
so it's AKA eku juice.
Oh, I
But
see,
it's-
okay.
I actually really enjoy it.
And then we have the is it blue?
Blue skies.
Blue skies.
Yes,
That's
but
Yeah.
they predominantly make it for more for exports than for.
Are they still on the market? I
local-
haven't
Yes,
seen
they
your
are.
products in a while.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then also there's fruitelli. Relax.
Okay. I shall go for those
The
options.
fruitelli. That's
Yes.
it's a condensed concentrate. It's a
Okay.
concentrate
Yeah, I
one.
was
So
going
it's
to
not
say
like
that. It
this.
doesn't really...
Yeah. So it's a fruit. So there's fruitelli as well. That's also
Okay.
manufactured
Okay.
locally. So please make sure you.
I
And then, of course, there's
no,
the fresh option.
and
so-
yes,
So when,
well,
I think the conversation around what we're saying is about the purchasing power.
yes.
And then sometimes when we hear from the statistical service that inflation has reduced to, was it the last 45%? And then you have Stefankin saying that, oh,
Has it really though?
He's measured it at 68%.
Has inflation really gone down though?
Yes.
That is why what exists on the market should averagely also match what is picked
Being
up
said,
by
yeah.
the statistical
Yeah.
service.
But when people start
because
to
cement
reduce
today has
prices-
crossed 100 Ghana cedis.
Yeah.
The average one is 100 Ghana cedis. If you want any type of cement, maybe for concrete, etc., it's over 100 Ghana cedis.
Yeah.
And to think a few years ago it was just 30 something.
And this one was just like 2 weeks ago, it went up.
Yeah.
So we have to be real. So for example, now if you have 1,000 Ghana cedis, you only get 10 bags. Previously, let's say 2-3 years ago,
Yes.
if you had a 1,000 Ghana
cedis.
cedis, you're likely to get multiples.
It was about 30 cities or 30
Yes, so you're likely
yeah.
to get 30 bags.
Thereabout.
Now it's been substituted because of the inflation we have, the reduction in the value of the CD, etc. To now 10 bags of cement, and that is at the heart of the conversation because that also trickles into affordability for rents.
Yeah.
And for landlords demanding high because there's high maintenance of the buildings as they have. Even if the buildings are said, they'll tell you there's high maintenance, which is fine. So the normal consumer, who is the average Ghanaian, is just not having it easy. You know? So that's why our vulnerable sisters and brothers, like those with disability, etc., need to be given some preferences or some treatment.
Now, on the issue of rent you just spoke about, something I picked up in a daily graphic on April 21st was that there's going to be a payment of rent tax.
Yes.
So for taxpayers, they're supposed to pay 8% for residential use of their property and 15% for non-residential use or commercial use. This is a tax that is definitely directly going to go into the consumer. So that is another conversation to have in some time to come. But coming back to the road tolls that are being implemented now, my biggest thing is the maintenance of the road, because a small research indicates that the object for the establishment of the road fund stated in the Road Fund Act of 1997 states that it's to finance routine periodic maintenance and rehabilitation of public roads. Now the big question is how good, how often, and how well are we actually maintaining these public roads? Let's use the Tema Motorway as an ideal example. 19 kilometers worth of road, about 12 toll booths on it, and about 30,000 cars on an average. But how is the state of the Tema Motorway after well, at least an average of, right now we are looking at, let's say, 2 cities per car for 30,000 cars. At least previously it was about 1 city an average. That was about 30,000 cities a day. How much of that money was used to maintain the road? The left side of the motorway, when you're coming from Tema to Accra, is full of potholes. It's literally like a death trap if you don't know how to navigate the road. Your tire could be bust on it, and many people have complained that their tires have fallen.
And you know that when you have a pothole on a concrete road, it's not the same like having it on the bitumen.
It's like a well.
It's very sharp. It's very sharp.
Exactly.
And I've had experiences of tire bursting.
And you use the road very
my
often.
My tire bursting. I mean, it literally tears. Tears like maybe 3 inches.
Wow. And this is a plight that a lot of people that live, and it's now a huge community, the community 25 and the rest. People are really moving through to those parts of town as a great alternative to staying in Accra. Now, if we have a lot more people actually plying the road now these days because of the communities that are popping up there, how well are we maintaining the road? And if we are not using a portion of the money as stated in the Road Act Fund to maintain the roads, then truly, what are we doing? Because when we're taking the tolls, when we knew we were taking the tolls, we weren't maintaining it. Is it going to change now? And how much of the daily sales we are getting from the road tolls are going to be allocated to the maintenance? I think, honestly, we should be having honest conversation about it. Let's know the company that is in charge of the maintenance so that we can hold them accountable when the roads start to go bad. Because not only is the roads going bad on roads such as the motorway, but all across the roads that are being tolled across the country are also falling apart. We need to do better in terms of maintenance. Because if a road was being honestly maintained, would you really complain about an increase in toll? No, because I'm getting value for money. But if I see that the road, there's very little emergency services located on the road, you can't really see the street lights working properly. Plus, the road is in a deplorable state. Then what's the point of paying road tolls?
Even beyond just fixing the roads, part of the money that is collected, it's also used to pay contractors. As of October last year, contractors were owed 5.9 billion Ghana cedis.
Oh, more.
And the PRO for the Ministry of Roads said that we'll pay them as and when we get the money. Question is, as and when, what does that mean? When is the money coming in? Because then it means that if we're not getting the money, and already, there's a blame on us for not paying enough for e-levy so we can generate enough funds to fix all the problems that apparently we have in this country that we think e-levy would fix. Now we're bringing back the road tolls. And so that is started. And so we're sure that we're collecting the money that's going into government's coffers. That means that these road contractors will have to wait for a while, which is why a lot of them, unfortunately, will also come and fix the roads anyway, anyhow. Is there a law that says that beyond the 2 years, you should come back and make sure that the road that you have fixed is still being maintained? Because there's really no law like that. I think the limit is about 2 or 3 years or so after they fix the roads to ensure that it's still in good condition. After that, nobody goes back to check, and then they pay all over again for someone to come and patch the road so we can call it new. But there have also been concerns about that, and there are road contractors who are saying that it's about time you extend it to 5 years so that when I fix the road as a road contractor, I'm held liable for the next 5 years in case something goes wrong. They are not held liable. So you see them come and patch and do some small pothole constructions here and there. So you see in a community that they fix the road, and in months, it rains once and there are potholes all along the stretch. And you're asking questions, what did they even use to fix the roads?
Honestly.
Nobody, because we're not paying them well. So day to day, they feel as if, well, if I'm going to wait another 2, 3, 4 years for my money to come, I won't invest all my money in the road. I'll do it anyway, just so that at least for now the road is fixed, and then later when I get my money, who knows?
Exactly, then I'll figure it out. Yeah. But then also, I would love to know from the point of maybe an engineer or a road contractor, the point of having concrete roads and using bitumen to patch it up. Like, I've never really understood it. Is it the standard? Is it something that we should encourage? Should we convert the entire road to bitumen? Like, why is it concrete and we use bitumen to fix it?
Yeah.
Question.
You have brothers who are engineers. So
we'll find out.
Well, so we'll be going to the Tema Motorway. Yeah. I'm sure Accra end of the motorway, get to see the current state of the toll booth. So Bella will be there. We'll bring you that as well. And then also we have another conversation that we all will be interested in as well. Issues of Galamsey will just not go away. The latest is the 13-page reply by Professor Frimpong Boateng to Kujo Ponkroma, and says that you could be my son, etc. And that politics is a very transient period.
Which is true.
Which is true.
Which is true. But that's what by the time you return to Ghana, Kujo was 6 years old.
For those of us who
then I wasn't born. No.
For those of us who practice, we know, right?
Yeah.
Those who call you when they are in opposition, and then when they come into government, never call you
can't
never
find
pick
them.
up your
Yeah,
calls
you
again.
find them again.
So I think these are things that we're used to. So, well.
But who gives them that power? It's about time we take that power. Because we're the ones that put them in position. Then they come and...
they lord over us.
Yeah.
Yes. It's actually quite true.
And then also we're going to have a conversation on a documentary that Godwin Asideba has put together. It's on drug abuse, married to cocaine as it is, but it's only cocaine that's taking this heroin. And they start from the small ones, the ones that we want legalized, etc., and then they want more of it. But issues of addiction are real, and the way they are trafficked and then also traded on the streets. So we have real personal stories in this documentary put together by Godwin Asideba. He'll be in the studio. We'll have that interaction. I tell you, there are men and women who all taking it, married and unmarried, in relationship, no relationships at all.
All that. Good morning to Raskuku and Shatawali. Raskuku says he wants to be president so that they can expand agriculture.
Wow.
For legalization.
Remember last week, well, he didn't specifically say they'll legalize weed, but he says that his focus will be on agriculture, and Shatawale will be his vice president.
We love that. We love that. It'll be interesting to see.
Well, good morning to you, Chairman Kojo Daniels, and have a great time as you kickstart your working week. As it is, we have to bring you the latest from Johnny's Bite. Okay, so.
Good morning to Uncle Tommy and Anfosi. He says good morning to us. Greetings to
Uncle Tommy.
AJ.
Good morning.
Pleasure.
I missed your call the other day. Stevie netted to celebrate his birthday yesterday.
Yes, he did.
It was a holiday, so we didn't get to have some great lunch packs.
So is it coming today?
Stevie, is it coming?
No, but Aisha had promised that she was going to take care of that.
Oh, wow. Oh, how exciting. Oh.
Aisha Yakubu, Khalid, good morning to you. Special one to you. But they said this is not the holiday where they share food.
It's the next one. So we are waiting.
How long from now?
40 days. Abi?
Another 40 days before we
Yes, 40 days.
Yes.
That's Idul Adha.
Yeah.
Salam meeting 40 days. Hey.
We'll wait. So
we should fast again.
Adiko is angry that I said that, do you have a brother? Please. Yes. Ladies too can be engineers. I apologize to you, Diana, for saying that. I should have said, do you have a sister who is an engineer?
Or do you know someone who's an engineer? Yeah. Shout out to all the female engineers. Yeah, they're really killing it.
Yes.
Yeah.
All sexes, right? Both sexes are killing.
Yeah. No.
What a man can do, a woman can do.
And better.
Yes.
Yes.
And better.
I saw a list of, genders that you have to choose from. I couldn't believe it. There are like 9 of them.
Oh yeah, the world is involved.
Binary, still thinking about it.
There's asexual, there's pansexual, there's
a lot of them.
Yeah, so it's no more like anyways,
I'm just saying that it's something I came across.
Gender has evolved.
I was quite shocked about it. It made me wonder which one I should even choose myself.
No, please.
Anyway. Is Johnny's Bites ready?
Yeah.
Okay, maybe we should go into that now. Yes.